we're back from... I hope everybody enjoyed our return to form. And...
Forum?
Maybe not return to form as much as return to episodes. Because I would say the form was long. Those episodes were even longer, and I cut some out. And I don't like when I did do this. But did you hear me trying to talk fast to get everything in instead of just, like
I don't think I noticed that.
Moving it to another episode or editing myself? I was going on 1.5 speed.
You edited it to 1.5 speed?
No,
just subconsciously?
Yeah.
I did not notice that.
You know what I was doing? I was doing that at your bachelor party because...
I thought you were just talking a lot.
Nate and John especially, a little bit of a quick talker.
Yeah.
And then I always match whatever anybody else is doing. So annoying.
And them just high energy.
Yeah.
I saw them recently and they were talking about the comedy show.
Yeah.
And I had to...
What were their comments?
I had to fact check you.
It was totally correct.
It was.
They chimed in.
It was funny. We talked about that. We talked about all the same stuff. The coffee, the finger wag.
Oh man.
I wish I could have a video of it.
I know.
Is there like a plus I could take from that? Is there like a positive thing I could take from that to apply to my sober life to be more confident? Oh, confident? And outgoing? Well, or whatever you were about to say when you said, "Oh yes."
Okay. Okay, I'll put it in that. I need to think about that for a sec. But
because I'm not always the most outgoing or forceful talker,
I would say sober you is clearly the better you.
Oh, okay. Less annoying?
Yeah, because...
More socially appropriate?
Well, this is my feeling. The amount of drinks that you have to consume to get to, let's say, A, B, and C levels. A is a little bit buzzed.
Mm-hmm.
B is that annoying car ride to the smoke room. What's it called?
Smoky Joe's. I think.
Cigar lounge.
Cigar lounge, yeah.
Smoke room. Noob.
Smoke room. Oh, it's the
smokehouse.
Smokehouse, yeah. Longhouse or like the
Longhouse. That's a good one.
What's that? Lake Island. What's that little Indian Native American village called? Tilikum Village.
Oh, yeah.
They smoke the salmon.
Oh, I think Declan's going to do that. Anyways. No, he goes to Pioneer or something.
The Nisqually one.
The white people one.
Yeah.
Yeah, B is the 10-minute car ride version, and I assume, you know what? It matched every locale. So Will at dinner, Will at comedy show, Will at cigar lounge. I almost said smoke shop. So the amount of drinks you have to consume to get to C, where you had calmed down again, and even though you said you love me from the podcast at C, the interactions with everybody were slowed way back down. A was just like a good night where everybody's in a good mood.
Maybe it was C as back to just vibing.
Yeah.
Just vibes.
Exactly.
Just giving and receiving vibes.
And the little, speaking of Valentine's Day, and the little bit, and the in-between.
Brought to you by adamandeve.com.
The in-between version of Will, whatever you're doing in your normal life is working for you. You don't have to. So that means you're off the hook. You know how people like, oh, I'm a better me, or I'm feel better when I smoke pot. Maybe you do feel better, but I'm telling you from the outside.
Yeah, I've never understood that sort of. I've never had to like drink for a reason or something, both negative or a positive. You know, I don't need to, drink to get over this long day, or I'm sad, so I need to have a drink. But also, I don't need to drink to have fun either.
Yeah, I suppose there are people who maybe really have like super anxiety or something, and that's the only time they notice something different, or probably people who just don't have a good, not opinion of themselves, but a wrong sort of opinion of themselves. Like, oh, I'm not fun, or I'm not having fun, or whatever, or I'm not the real. I keep thinking of Bert Kreischer. He's like, I'm the party guy. This is what people expect of me, and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, I bet people would just like you, anytime, but.
You killing yourself with alcohol.
Yeah. So,
well, that's
at least
good.
At least you're not in that mode.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
So basically, what I'm saying is, if you feel like drinking a moderate amount, just go all the way.
Just make it. Just go A to C. Don't stop at B.
Yeah.
Got it.
Have 9 drinks at dinner and not 4.
Perfect. Yeah. Just like I was thinking of on Barstool Sports. I don't even know what it is. I've only seen clips of it because Shane Gillis was on it. They do the case race. They have like teams, and like there'll be like 2 or 3 people on a team, and they have to, like, this last one, they had to eat a certain amount of cupcakes and drink a certain number of beers.
Oh, cupcakes too? At the same time?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, but it's per team.
Well,
so like one guy was like eating all the cupcakes and one guy was drinking all the beer, but I was just thinking about Shane Gillis chugging a bunch of beers and then almost fighting someone on the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. That Casey guy, you said Case, Barstool, what's his name, with the long hair, does the interviews?
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name.
They did one with Drake Sunday.
I haven't watched that one.
It was pretty good.
He's funny.
Yeah, Drake plays, or the Casey guy is funny.
Yeah,
but also
Drake's not funny.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He is pretty funny when he does.
I'm not a Drake fan.
I'm a fan of Happy Drake, and he was Happy Drake in the video.
I'm only a fan of Hotline Bling. Is that Drake?
Yeah. Do you really like that song?
I know when a Hotline Bling.
Yeah, it was. It was hated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not hated.
Just like the beat.
I do like that song.
Yeah.
But how about talk about this? Speaking of Hotline Bling. Oh, and shout out anniversary. This fits right in too.
Whose anniversary?
12 years since the release of Friday, Rebecca Black.
Oh yeah, and she just dropped something.
She got a real album. I follow her on TikTok, or maybe Instagram too, but she's like an EDM artist now.
Oh.
And I've always followed her, even since, she was younger and everything, because it really bothered me how everybody like hated on her and everything.
Yeah.
And
so you wanted to support her?
Well, it was just, I don't know. It was just like interesting to me, and yeah, I felt bad. And in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I hope this person like is normal and whatever.
You wanted to see the underdog story from day one.
Yeah. Nobody believed in us. And okay, Hotline Bling Friday. It reminds me, what do you think about this? About how it's not really meme, but it's sort of like meme culture, about how it becomes like cool to hate on something.
Yeah.
And then everybody's opinion. If you ever go to BuzzFeed or anything, that's the most annoying. It's like fans are saying, like, thousands are outraged, and it's like 2 tweets.
Yeah.
Well, that's when it's like 2 tweets, but it's just like all of a sudden it becomes like not cool to like something or whatever, and people don't really have an actual opinion. Or like Hotline Bling, it's like a fine song.
Like
probably most people would like it if they would just.
All of a sudden, everyone started hating on Amy Schumer.
Mm-hmm.
Just like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She was like the funny girl comic doing all the movies. Then all of a sudden, everyone hates Amy Schumer.
I know, and it just takes one thing to flip it, and then everybody decides you're. It's kind of like Crisp Rat.
Crisper.
It's sort of like him. Everybody decided he was the worst Chris, and then you can't do anything right. So
because
then
he's a Christian.
Well, then he had his baby, and then he said on.
And he broke up with Anna Faris.
Yes, Anna. And but he said in his like Instagram post when his second baby was born, like, she gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby, and then everybody's like, "Oh, because Anna Faris, his
has autism or whatever,
maybe Down syndrome." Or
I don't think he's full down. He's got a touch of something.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
His first son?
Yeah.
No, it's not Down syndrome, I don't think. But it's something.
Anyways, point being that it's like he just said, "Hey, glad to have a healthy baby," and people are like, "Oh, so Anna Faris didn't give you a healthy baby? Mm-hmm. She messed up. She screwed everything up.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't breed for you the way you wanted her to.
So you left her."
It's just ridiculous. That's what I mean. Then it's like there's piling on, and then it's just like cool to send the tweet or cool to repost tweets and everything. It's too much.
I tweeted the other day. I commented. Did you like that? About the pens.
Out of the blue.
It was like my 10-year Twitter anniversary.
Oh, time to tweet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you do it for other people. So maybe if you don't have that, if you're not bent that way, it's not that big a deal. But which way do you bend?
I hate Joe Brandon raising egg prices.
Right.
Just kidding. Didn't we talk
Palestine.
About that? Save Palestine. Pete Buttigieg, get your act together. I do think it's funny that happened. Another one happened in Texas, and now all of a sudden they're voting again on if railroaders should get 7 paid sick days, even though they already voted. They already did that when they shut down the strike. They voted to shut down the strike, and then literally the next vote in their like little series was to vote for 7 sick days, and they voted that down right after forcing them to accept that contract. And then like it's brought up again now thanks to Bernie Sanders and others. It's interesting, the timing of it.
You gotta strike while the iron's hot.
Mm-hmm. While the rail's hot rail. That's what you say when like there's people like working on one but you're like flying down the other one.
Oh, hot rail
on 2.
Speaking of Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot rails. No, I was talking about the train derailment thing because it is kind of interesting. Like,
for those of you who don't know, train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, on the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania, and there was some toxic chemicals that they decided to burn so that it didn't spread into the ecosystem, thus creating a giant cloud of chemicals that rained down into the ecosystem. Epic fail.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So presumably, the tracks are messed up from the derailment, and you have all these tanker cars full of stuff. Probably some are leaking, some are not. Mm-hmm. I thought the leak was not that bad at the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't follow it a ton at first because it was just another train story to me.
Yeah. Well, the messed up thing is, so you either have to get the cars like away from the rail so they can start repairing it to get the line going again or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, which they don't have, the chemicals, they need to be contained and moved thousands of miles. So you can't just hire a freaking U-Haul to do that.
Yeah.
And so every day that those cars are just laying on the ground and the track is not running is costing, whoever money.
Norfolk Southern.
Even though there's whatever ways you're rerouting, it's still costing them for something. And if it's like litigated, it goes on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And so I bet they just do some kind of calculation, XYZ plus insurance money minus, people dying equals, and then they're like, oh yeah, okay, let's light it on fire. And then, they just have no other means of, that's what's kind of crazy. I mean, not that they're right for doing that. So now everybody's getting sick.
Animals are dying.
Yeah, a bunch of animals have died. No people have died yet, but yeah, it sounds, that's what I was saying. I was reading about it earlier today and it was literally like stomach churning.
Yeah, there's a interview I saw with this lady and she was like, everyone that's there dealing with it is wearing these hazmat suits, but then at the same time they say it's safe to go back to your house.
Yeah.
Like, so which is it?
And now the whole water supply for like hundreds of miles is...
Yeah, that's the Ohio River,
right?
Crazy.
So, yeah, it's just kind of... Yeah,
that one happened in Texas, too. Not quite as bad. No giant cloud, but it was some hazardous material that derailed.
Yeah.
I think Houston, Texas area.
I saw there was like a truck that...
In Arizona?
It was like green poison gas.
Yeah.
That looked like a cartoon.
They shut down the I-10.
I don't know. It's weird when they have those problems that there's like no easy way of dealing with.
And it's funny because what's also weird is like those chemicals go along the rails all the time, all over the place.
Right.
That wasn't just like a one-off thing. It's like a common way of transporting hazardous material.
Right.
There's once in Alabama, there was like all this like, it was the like extra refuse from a chicken processing plant. So there's like a bunch of parts and just nasty crap, feathers and who knows what else. And it was all these cars and it got stuck somewhere in the summer in Alabama in this town. Ugh. And like the whole smell was just going out into the, like ruining this town. And it was there for like weeks.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nasty. Right by my work is the big dump in Seattle, and they ship it off to Oregon or whatever. And there's a big place where they load it all in the train right there. Sodo district.
Hazardous stuff?
No, just, it's probably hazardous to some extent. It's from like the dump.
Oh.
It's like home waste. Oh. And, but sometimes in the summer, the wind or sun will catch just right and it reeks.
Oof.
Smells like fish a lot, which is weird.
Yeah, speaking of Valentine's Day, yesterday, it was...
Did you do anything?
No, we didn't do a lot.
We did stuff on the weekend. Went out to fancy dinner. Then we went to church on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. So I was talking to Mom, and she said, "Oh, Will and Lauren checked out this church." I was like, "Oh."
She goes, right down around the corner.
But I said, "Oh, I didn't know that." She goes, "Oh, well, I'll let him tell you about it." I was like, "Okay." He's probably saving it for the pod.
Did you talk to her today?
No.
I think I just told her today about it.
You went? No. Well, she must have known.
What she... she didn't say anything.
Did you tell Father?
No. Didn't tell anyone.
How would she have known?
She knew I went to church. She didn't know anything about it, though.
Oh.
So she let me. It's like she was withholding information, but I don't think she had any information.
Maybe.
I think that was today or yesterday. Today? I don't know.
She told me a couple days ago.
Yeah. I've gone to Fred Meyer, I think, every day this week.
So you're thinking about Mom?
And I told her on the way home from Fred Meyer. It might have been yesterday. But my Fred Meyers are getting mixed together.
I didn't talk to her yesterday.
Who knows? But
you called your mom on Valentine's Day? You're such a sweetie pie.
I kept forgetting it was Valentine's Day because we already did it on the weekend. Because I didn't know if I'd be off work or not.
Right.
Did it on the weekend. Yeah, so we check out this church and
the one that was right down near you.
Yes.
That you had a personal.
No, that's the next one I want to try.
Oh.
I don't know where that's been. This is one. I don't want to dox them because I'm not going to say something.
Okay.
That great.
That's fine.
I'm going to give an honest review.
Yeah, honest review. This is Yelp.
Positive criticism.
Positive, encouraging. Caleb. Wait, I was supposed to answer your question in a real way.
What was my question?
About takeaways. About I think I answered it, but
no, you didn't. You said that was better as my normal self.
Yeah.
Yeah. I received that.
Okay. You did ask the question a little differently, but now I forget what it is.
Yeah, so we're checking out I was saying, was there anything positive I could take away from that sort of personality, whatever traits that I could apply to my normal life that I should dive into. But that's okay.
The apply would be just like lessons learned.
Okay. Yeah, that's not what I meant. But so I went to this church, checking out a church for the first time.
Got buzzed thinking the cool Will's walking in the door.
Yeah.
Gonna meet people.
And I was in type B personality. Just read up on a lot of Far Eastern. Is that bad to say?
No. Are you joining the...
I was going to say read up on Far Eastern economic policy before going to church.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Far East religion. I thought you were doing a Big Nate's tour through the religious landscape.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he's doing that. I have to ask him about that. So I go in there and the music's starting and instant CLC vibes because there's a much older lady playing the keyboard. There's another guy also playing the keyboard.
Dueling keyboards.
Yeah. And then there's fully caged drums, top and everything. And then your other classics, a couple singers and blah, blah, blah.
No guitars?
Yeah. Acoustic guitar and electric guitar. Both blue. Both bright blue. Not that matters, but yeah, it's interesting. The bright blue acoustic guitar reminded me of a young Taylor Swift. Not the person playing it, but just the guitar.
Yeah.
And then there was a singer that was just a singer, kind of like the worship leader, but just not playing anything.
Right.
And he was like
no bass player?
There was an older bass player playing a 5-string, but I think he only played the highest 3 strings, like highest tone or pitch. Didn't play the 2 low strings.
If you're going to play a 5, you got to at least hit C every once in a while.
Yeah. So that was funny. And then the singer was like a Kirkland brand, John Foreman, Sean Voight guy. Surfer, blonde hair, really energetic.
Sean
yeah. Puked. And it just was giving me CLC vibes because of the mosh posh of people up there.
Yeah.
Old and young, different styles.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of the songs. And one of them on the little copyright thing said 2006. And I was like, hey.
Yeah, I think that I think maybe that one's on you.
Me?
Yeah.
I would have known a 2006 song.
Maybe.
But yeah, I didn't. Oh, and every song was about that. You know how like I can totally see this like trying to decide which songs to play.
I hate that.
They're like, what songs are we gonna play this week? And like, let's come up with a theme.
No.
And then let's do the name of Jesus. Yeah. So every song in some way was the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. Right. Fill in the blank.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
So yeah, every song was like that. Anyway, that was the music. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
How old was the John Foreman guy?
Late 30s.
All right.
Late 30s. 40.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And then there was like some other Brianna Martin-esque girl. Only because she had dark hair and was
5'2".
5'2", counter to the person singing. She was fine. Then it was like they did the music and then they did all the announcements and everything else, and it was like 45 minutes before you got to any sort of cracking open the Bible. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of frustrating. I was trying to remember how long things would go.
That's about, yeah.
It seemed like a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe because I wasn't interested in any of the announcements or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And they did like a duel, like two people up there with microphones, like joking back and forth about the announcements.
Let's ask Matt about that, because that was the New Hope way for a while.
Yeah, I wasn't into that. And it was like an old guy that was in charge of something, and then like the youth pastor girl, and that they weren't vibing.
I know. That must be like a thing or something.
It wasn't like Kathi Goertzen and whatever his name is.
Dan Lewis
with the hair.
Simpatico.
Nice hair. Yeah. So, yeah, that needed some work. And then the subject was tithing.
I'm not even... I haven't even had any... what are they called? Seltzers.
Yeah. The subject was tithing. So
I missed this.
I was already checked out.
Oh, how does that happen?
What?
It's yeah.
That's like you want to check out a church and
no.
Because also probably my number one issue with churches in general is money. And that's why I really liked the one that I went to a few times in Auburn, because they were like debt free and, to my understanding, a few times I was there handling their money well. And then this one to show up, they ask for a bunch of money during the announcements, and then all of a sudden it's send the QR code for your tithe or whatever, and then they talk about tithing, and I was just getting more irritated.
Yeah.
And then he's not giving a lot of biblical references to tithing or anything like that. He doesn't tell the story of the talents. He doesn't, I forget what even Bible verses he used, but then that was only in like the first 5 minutes, and then everything else.
Now it's really sounding like New Hope.
Everything after the first 5 minutes, where there were some Bible verses, was all stories from people, and there were like 2 different videos of people telling stories of like where they tithed, and their bills were tight, but they still tithed, and things worked out for them. And then he has a guy come up on the stage and tell a story about how he was at a gas station, and
the phone rang.
No, he's pulling up to like Safeway. It was Safeway gas station.
Yeah.
And this fancy SUV, like Escalade or something, comes up. And this guy comes in dressed in his Muslim garb, as this old white man said. And he was saying, "Papa, Papa." That's what he said to him, because he's like an old man. And he's like, "I'm from Dubai. I have money, but I lost my wallet. I need money for gas, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Well, I don't have cash, blah." And he's like, "Well, I can fill up your tank or whatever." He gives him a ride like from the parking lot to the Safeway gas, and he fills up his tank for him. As they're talking, he's saying he's like trying to go to the consulate in Seattle or whatever. And
oh my gosh.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's a scam.
But now he needs money.
Get gas anywhere in Tacoma.
Get gas.
Meet one of those guys every day.
Yeah, get gas. And then also ask him for $400.
Oh, no.
And he's like, well, I can give you $200. That's what he could afford. So they go to the ATM and he gives them $200. And in return, this rich Dubai guy gives him like a necklace and like 2 rings, like jewelry. And so the pastor's making this huge deal about this Christian guy helping this Muslim guy. And like the Christian guy had been good with tithing. And then now he's like getting this and getting all this jewelry. And then he even brought in 10% of the jewelry, brought in a ring to give to the church. To give.
You got 10 rings?
Well, you know what I mean. Like give a portion of it to the church.
And then Ariana Grande?
And so they're making a big deal about it. And then I just go on my phone. I'd go, Dubai gas station jewelry scam. And so 50 articles come up.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was a story that you found.
No, it's a scam that's been going on for years all over the country. And it's fake jewelry.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, that was my church experience on Sunday.
Oh, man. Speaking of Matt Lacombe.
What? It was just...
He loves a good scam.
Yeah. What are those? Da Vinci speakers. Forgot about those. At least those work.
That's what he says anytime I bring up the story. They're still working.
Yeah. Hey.
My parents have them.
They worked. They were hooked up to the TV, I think, for a while. But anyway.
Yeah, still are.
So that was not a good first church experience.
Oh, my gosh.
But I wanted to check that one out because, yeah, it's right by the house. And they also have a private school, which I might potentially take them up on one day. And but yeah, there's the other one, which is the Life Center offshoot.
Yeah,
where I know someone there. I'm going to try that one out. So we'll see.
They'll probably have people joking around doing announcements too, or they might have them on video. They might have them pre-recorded.
Yeah,
2 people pre-recorded joking around.
It's funny because I know what to expect, but then it doesn't mean that I like it.
I know. I'll give you an update on BF.
Well, I mean, I was also quickly that one in Auburn. It was like they did all the same stuff, but then the preaching was really good, so then it made up for it.
Well, that's actually. I was talking to Britt, your ex,
from high school. I think it's a statute of limitations now. You can just say her name.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I did Will's wedding a couple weeks ago. And she was like, oh. She didn't even say like a congrats or anything. So.
FTB.
That's what I was thinking.
But also, I would have done the same thing. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Not even a cool.
Not even cool.
Yeah, not even a cursory. But anyway, I was talking to her and I was saying it has been an odd thing in Gig Harbor because everything is on the table with every church. It's not like I know. Well, we did actually know somebody at this church, but I didn't. Tammy did. But
yeah, where are you at now?
Believers Fellowship.
Because you gave up on.
I didn't give up. I gave up on Heart Church, which I was going to Fox Island. They closed. They became Heart Church. Heart Church was too. Hey, bro! Ooh! Wait, I told you he was like, no, his wife came up to us. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, you guys look so cool. We did not look cool at all.
Maybe that's why you look cool. You weren't trying.
I saw you guys over here, and I was like, I have got to meet you guys.
And their daughter's name was McKinley with a Leigh.
And then she's like,
somewhere.
And then she's like, oh, hi, I'm Michael. I'm Tammy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, nice to meet you, rock stars.
Oh, boy.
Walks away.
Immediately.
And actually, I know why she met me. It's because Declan ran on the stage the Sunday before.
She had to be like, we're going to put an end to this.
So she had to like check out our vibe and see if we were
You're going to just let your kid run around all crazy.
And she never talked to us again, even though we're
cool
rock stars.
Well, maybe she felt too shy because you were too cool. But you moved on to
we moved on.
Fellowship.
We moved to BF. We took somebody with us.
And my ex goes there?
No. We saw her at a B-Day P.
Oh.
And, but we knew somebody that went to BF, and we brought somebody from FI with us.
The world old guy?
Yeah, the world old guy. And
for real?
Yeah.
Right on. But I gotta meet this guy.
With everything on the table, it's like weird. You see the pluses and minuses of everything, and then
what do you mean everything on the table? Like you're taking it all in? It's all new, or
that? But it's just like you have so many ways to evaluate versus like going in. Like we didn't shop churches when we got kicked out of CLC. We went to New Hope because a bunch of our friends went there, and even though it wasn't the perfect situation, it was like I'd rather be around a group of people that I love, and so therefore that made it a real easy decision. Whereas finding places here, it's harder because there's just positives and there's
free balling it.
Yeah, so
free basing it.
There's still a bunch of things I don't like. I mean, Landon has started to have middle school. They have like a dedicated middle school youth group.
So there's no like 17-year-olds with the 12-year-old.
Yeah. And so he started going to that, and it was cool. But like the preaching, I think the people there are a little bit Calvinistic. I'm not sure. They haven't come right out and
chosen.
said. They haven't come right out and said, but it's like pretty clear about some of their context clues.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and their preaching is very like kind of academic in a way, where they're like giving you the background and everything, which I like.
I like that.
But it's so like sentence by sentence. And I've spoken so many times. I'm just like, you can say all the things. You're like giving me so much information. It's like you could almost include the same amount of information or just take off 10% and just make that a more palatable, more influential,
more
relatable, sometimes 25 minutes rather than being like, they'll be like,
and Hosea begat.
Paul said, no, it'll be like, Paul said that, and then it'll be like, Paul, he was born in blah, 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 said, this is speaking in like this context.
It's like a documentary.
It's like, that is a connecting word, which in the Greek actually means that her.
Exegesis.
So it's a little bit too much of that, and I kind of like, I kind of check out a little bit, but everything's pretty good except they hate women. So
Calvinists hate women?
Most Calvinists are like don't like or like don't allow women pastors and stuff like that.
That's what the Bible says.
Maybe.
Whenever I think of Calvinists, I just think this makes me want to say, well, what's the point? If I make it in, I make it in.
Yep. And so it's been all right there. Wait, did I tell you about my follow-up with the worship guy?
Oh, yeah, you did the sound, and something was weird.
And they didn't...
Yeah, they
didn't talk to me when I was there.
Right, and then they didn't...
They didn't contact me.
You contacted, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like...
Then they needed you.
Then maybe like 7 weeks later or something, I get a text.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, man? Just wanted to see what your involvement was going to look like.
Like it's been in your court the whole time.
Exactly. So then I was like, hey, I basically said like, I just need you to know, like, I'm now gone. This is my third church I've been to.
Yeah.
And to check out where nobody has talked to us the entire time of us going there.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was really weird because there's only 9 people in the room and I make 10. And I was talking to him and saying, hey man, I don't think this is right for me right now. It's like, I was looking for a place where I can be connected so I can make friends. And it just like is obviously that's not the place. And I was like, I feel bad because I was like, I even tried to connect with him. I was like, I was a pastor for a long time, and I know it's hard to find people enough to sustain, whatever. But it's just like, I was like, I need to focus with Tammy and I and the kids about, just making some relationships here and everything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't stick to like something that's like, I have to feel like I'm putting work into. I was like, I'll check back with you in the future. And he's like, oh, no worries. We got enough people. I was like, no, you don't. It's like, I've been here like, 2 months and you've already made like 2, pleas for people to join. And he's like, my opinion is Thursday is work time. And that's not the best environment for social stuff. Hangouts can happen outside of rehearsal, but
that's like the leader of the sound or whatever.
The worship leader. But he's like, but not dismissing your assessment of the situation. That's just context. He goes, I didn't hear back from you, so it takes 2 to tango, I was like, I just shared. And my text was like more serious to him. I was like,
yeah.
It was kind of like, hey man, this has been like really hard. He's like, you know what? We'll be fine without you. And anyway, it takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
And it's not all fun and games there because they even take a 15-minute break in the middle so people can talk to each other.
What? During their practice?
Yeah. So they do like all the ins and outs. They do all their stopping and starting.
Oh, nice.
They take a break, and then they try to do, like, straight through.
Yeah.
So
no, you got to talk when you first get there. Whenever everyone's trying to set their stuff up, that's your time to talk.
I was there early, too.
Yeah, that's whack.
I was there early, left late.
I don't like that guy.
It's hard, because he seems like a cool guy, but it's just annoying.
Sounds like a cool guy with the guitar
it's
solo
like
in the background.
It's what you talked about with playing the drums. You're just an object to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And they don't realize how much they treat people that way. They probably don't think they are, but on the other side, it's 100% your interaction with them.
That's one of the things I'm worried about with going to this other church. The guy I know is the worship leader. Oh. But I literally could not do it just because of my work schedule. So yeah, that's an easy out.
Right. On the plus side at BF,
he wants me to judge every Sunday performance I'm there.
Oh yeah.
Consult.
I was gonna send you a quick text.
Millennial consultant. I will gladly.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the plus column for BF though, Cookie Sunday once a month.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's nice. Cookies.
Anyways. Oh man, what a tangled web we weave. I felt like we twisted and turned. We Franklin and bashed.
What's the movie reviewers? Egbert and so and so.
Ebert and
that one.
Roper.
Yeah,
that was the other like one.
That. Is that what it is? It's Ebert and
Siskel and Ebert. It was Siskel and Ebert, and then they changed it to Ebert and Roper.
Okay,
that was a time. Who are they going to get to replace Siskel?
What are they?
Dan Lewis and Kathi Goertzen. That was a good one.
I can never remember.
You're on fire tonight.
I can never remember the full reference. I just know enough. I know it's there. Like in the previous episode, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Wasn't 100% sure on it, but I went there. And I knew you, as my brother, would come in and finish me off.
Finish me off. That reminds me, I hope everybody had a good Valentine's yesterday. And thank you for listening, and share it with a friend.
This is the Bad Brothers Podcast.